Okay, welcome back to Talkville, the best rewatch podcast on the planet. Better than The Office rewatch podcast, better than any Supernet. No, I'm kidding. We're just a place where you Smallville fans can come and hang out with us.
I honestly just saw today that Supernatural is doing a 2-part movie thing based on Supernatural going forward, Jared and Jensen.
They should do a Smallville movie.
It's easier for them to do it than it would be for us.
I just saw them reunite on The Boys, and it was gross. But they were good.
Yeah.
Jared was on?
Yeah, Jared and Misha
They both
had a guest spot.
Were they good?
Episode. Yeah, they're really good. But yeah, Jensen he's great. He's great.
That's great. Welcome back to Talkville. I said that already, so I'll repeat it. Patreon.com/Talkville. If you want to support the show, if you love it and you're getting all this free stuff, get back to the show, will you? You get back to the show.
Get back to the show.
If you didn't get a chance to call in our hotline, leave a question for this episode. Make sure you do for future ones. All that information is down in the show's description. At Tom Welling, at the Michael Rosenbaum. We do cameos. We're doing tons of cons. Chicago, Boston, Nashville, the cruise. Go to cruiseville.com. Get your tickets. Get on board. Have a swim with the stingrays with me and Tom, and the reef sharks with me and Tom, and the karaoke Lex Luthor pajama party on board. Get on this ship. Do whatever you can. TalkvillePodcast.com for the merch. Inside of you, online store for other Smallville merch, and inside of you. And I will say, I don't say it often, but if you're listening and you're a big following, I know you make this podcast yours every week, and I hope that you'll give my podcast a chance. Inside of you with Michael Rosenbaum. Really would love your help and support. So if you're a fan of mine or a fan of this show and you're like, I don't want to listen to just for me, subscribe, check it out. I think you'll really like it. We get into mental health and stuff.
If you're neither, like if you're not a fan, just check it out.
Yeah, because honestly, we talk about facing adversity. We talk about mental health. We talk about real stuff. So I think you'll really like it. So give it a shot. Right now you're saying, no, I just want to do Smallville. Well, get over yourself.
I listen to your podcast.
I'm just kidding. It's let's get into this. Without further ado, let's get into season 8, episode 18. This is Eternal. Title Eternal, aired April 2, 2009. Director James Marshall. It's going to be a long episode. Writers Kelly Souders, Brian Peterson, guest stars Connor Stanhope. He's back as Little Lex, and it didn't like his attire. It's like his sock hat and his like tall socks. It was like, come on. Alex Ferris is Little Davis. Synopsis: Davis's past and the magnitude of his carnage are revealed.
That is a big reveal. I was very surprised by this. That they had crossed paths as kids. Like it was sort of like the thing we talked about before. Like what if Lex Luthor found Clark, and what if the Kents found Lex?
Yeah.
I
like that whole theory. That was what this episode really was about.
That's true. At Luthor Manor, Tex looks over a Veritas sketchbook. The sketches come to life and flash back to the meteor mayhem of '89. Lionel finds traumatized little Lex in the cornfield. Jonathan and Martha flip their truck and find baby Clark. But near Clark's ship, a big space egg cracks open and then oozes. But from the goo emerges another space boy. The scene flashes back into the sketch, and Tess realizes Lionel was too blind to see the truth. There was another.
Yeah, see, this whole thing. Sorry, I had to get a Gatorade. Brought to you by Gatorade. Gatorade is thirst aid for that deep down body thirst. Here's what I had a problem with. So, how did the other kid get there?
He was clinging to the spaceship. He was attached to it.
How did he do that?
He didn't do it. He was in the egg.
Where was the egg?
Zod did it. Zod attached him to the spaceship and sent him with Clark because
we never saw this egg on that ship.
Yeah, because they decided to do this now. They didn't decide they were going to do it then.
It said Zod took...
Well, it's a jumping shark stuff, Oh, we spent a shape, someone held on to the spaceship and they arrived too.
But because they were destroying Krypton.
Because Zod was an enemy of Jor-El, and Jor-El sent his son. He's like, go save Earth. And Zod's like, well, F that, dude. I'm sending my kid. He's going to go stop your kid. But he came in under different circumstances.
I'll sort of buy
Zod
it.
and Feora talked about this.
At the DP, Clark asked Tess to print his article about a string of missing persons cases. She says she needs more proof, and Clark accuses her of sweeping the matter under the rug. Tess replies that she's squeaky clean and that Clark is the one hiding secrets. Davis cooks dinner for Chloe at the apartment. That was kind of weird. It's kind of abrupt.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Jimmy's gone. It's
I think
all right,
she just got
guy.
divorced, right?
I mean, not really. She's still, who knows? She tells him that a flurry of angry emails. Jimmy now refuses to speak to her, and Davis slices his fingy. But when Chloe checks it, it magically heals. Clark walks in, and it's awkward. Davis excuses himself and starts having an episode downstairs. Yeah, you're kind of like, all right, well, cat's out of the bag now.
Yep.
So, yeah, it was, I was like, it was a bit abrupt, like his saying, we could do this another time. And she didn't really stop him. She's like, no, Davis, we're supposed to have dinner. It could have been a little more like, it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm not really feeling that great right now. Something, but because he kind of left abruptly and it wasn't really like, he's like, okay, we can do this to pick up tomorrow. It's like, what are you talking about? We just had dinner. I'd be pissed.
I mean, would you leave in the middle of making dinner? He's probably got something simmering. He's going to turn off the gas.
Yeah, dinner.
Yeah. He's got to turn off the oven. I'm sure that's going. That's my concern.
Cut to, I think Davis has had a really tough upbringing. He finally makes a dinner for a girl. There's a little bit of conflict. He does leave because he doesn't quite know what to do, and he doesn't want to turn into Doomsday. So cut to dragging a dead body.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So Davis drags a bloody shovel across the field and loads it in his Jeep. He kisses the crucifix in his rear view. He gets a phone call, flicks on the headlights, and there stands Tess, who's making that phone call. She asks, what's the prayer for dismembering a body? Hits a detonator, and boom, the Jeep goes kablooey.
At Chloe's apartment, she and Clark research the missing persons case, which is now up to 12. Clark then grills Chloe on Davis, citing his disappearances, lack of childhood record, and a locker full of crime scene photos as some pretty serious red flags. And then she finds a vehicle with Davis's license plates was found on fire outside of Smallville. Holy cannoli. In a Luthor guest room, Davis wakes up bandaged and barbecued. I wasn't, this is the first time I was like, I didn't love his makeup. I didn't love the makeup and the mummy wrap on him. It seemed very TV.
I think they tried to do a misery thing.
Yeah.
When she's sitting there and he's in that situation.
Yeah, in a way, but then she sort of just lets him go. So it's like she was expecting it. She's like, her plan is like, let him get better and then he's going to come to me and then we're going to have this conversation. And, it was a little weird. She was like praying it worked out in her favor. In a Luthor guest room, Davis wakes up bandaged and barbecued. Tess opens the blinds and confesses that even though she tried to kill him, he's safe with her now. She produces the Veritas sketchbook and tells him a little tale about the boy who fell to earth. Ryan?
We then flash back to Minnie Davis hiding in the rubble as he watches Jonathan, Martha, and baby Clark figure out what to do. When they leave, he is immediately pursued by a tactical team who chases him straight into a cage. We sketch transition to Lil Lex wandering the manor halls looking for his stupid fucking pet bird. He notices a peeper in a keyhole, opens the door, and finds Minnie Davis. Lil Lex removes his beanie and they connect over Warrior Angel. Minnie Davis says a man brought him here to stick needles in him. Gross. Lil Lex asks if he wants to play anyway. The camera dollies back to the desk and we see the dead-ass parrot. And then as we transition back into the present-day recovery room, which is the same room, Tess tells Davis that Lionel thought he was the Traveler, but didn't realize 2 space boys landed that day. And the question is, did Davis kill the parrot, do we think?
Well, I will say this, yes. And I will also say that I think Connor's a really good actor, but he kind of creeps me out. The way they have him playing this character. It's just kind of creepy. No. Well, you
it's not a bad
stay
thing
here. It's just, everything's kind of just like, he's just weird. Just weird.
Breaking news. Michael is creeped out by his younger self.
Yeah. He's great, but just the character is kind of creeping me out. Where are we at? Flashback?
Clark and Chloe arrive at the field and find a tow truck driver hauling Davis's Jeep away. Clark recognizes the field as where his ship landed. He x-rays the ground and sees a whole bunch of dead bodies.
It's a lot of bodies.
That's a lot of bodies.
A lot of bodies. At the manor, Davis wakes up unscarred. He opens a door and flashes into a memory of sword fighting with Little Lex. Minnie Davis eyes a box on the desk, which Little Lex explains was made from the armor of St. George the Dragon Slayer. They role-play as St. George and the Dragon, and Minnie Davis pretends to be slain by Little Lex, who then cracks open the box, which is full of kryptonite, causing Minnie Davis to writhe in pain on the floor. Flashback to the present day, where Davis now realizes how to destroy himself. Tess enters and informs him that the reason he and Clark don't get along is because Davis has been sent to betray the savior among them. He rages and chucks her across the room.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought the sword fighting was a little extreme. Just kept going.
I thought it was cute. It was like,
I don't know. I felt aggressive. Like I thought Lex was going to kill him.
What I got from it, like, here's a kid who doesn't have any friends and found one, and this is what he wants to do, and he doesn't have the experience to know how to play, so he plays hard.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it just was like, oh Jesus, Lex, ease up, buddy, ease up.
He stumbled upon a friend like who's being held captive by his father.
Well, how did this kid learn how to sword fight so fast?
He's an alien. He's intuitive with his combat skills.
When little Lex only does 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, it's pretty quick to pick up.
And it's like allegorical, like what Lex would have done with Clark. And it's like Davis is just now in Clark's place, and Lex is trying to figure it out.
Maybe that's irony.
It's a little bit of dramatic.
Go ahead.
At the DP, Clark chews out Chloe for not mentioning Davis's blackouts. He then pulls up a file on the missing persons, noticing that they're not all exactly model citizens, and perhaps Davis was on a vigilante mission. Chloe reveals that Davis's records had already been checked out by Luthor Corp, and it's time to pay Tess a visit.
At the MG, Clark visits a bruised up Tess in her patient room, who reveals that Lionel and Lex got the whole Kawachi Caves things wrong. The two-headed creature, Naaman and Sagith, aka Good and Evil, is actually a reference to Clark and Davis, which was kind of cool. She also blames Clark for getting Davis thrown into the streets because not only did Davis's test not match Lionel's expectations, but also Martha called Lionel for adoption help with Clark. So you're bad, Clark.
Also, perhaps maybe Lex is not the evil one.
I think that's what she's trying to get at, right? Is she trying to like clear? She's doing a lot here, like a lot of manipulation, like a lot of like trying to blame Clark for getting Davis thrown out in the streets. And
I would just kill her.
But she's not.
She's very conniving and manipulative, and I don't trust her. I would say somebody needs to kill her pretty quickly. This is going to only escalate in a very bad way.
Wait till you see next episode.
Oh, great. Go ahead, Ryan.
It has nothing to do with any of this.
At the foundation.
At the foundation. Davis surprises Chloe while she's reviewing dead bodies. As she tries to bolt, he calms her down by confessing his love and asking for a favor. Help him die. That should be easy. Clark super speeds to the foundation, finds it ransacked. He checks a diagram on her computer, and a voice-matched ADR tells us that it's Dr. Grohl's lab. I just thought in that scene, like, it was definitely not your voice, Tom. Like, there was, like, some, like, exposition that Clark needed to say, like, oh, it's Dr. Grohl's lab. And I feel like that was a voice match.
Yeah, I'm filing a lawsuit.
That's a guy's job.
Dr. Grohl's lab.
Now at the lab, Davis is in a crypto cage while Chloe stands at a control panel, visibly upset. Davis urges her to pull the lever, but Clark speeds in and stops her. Clark tries to explain that he's the reason for all the bad stuff in Davis's life and they should have been brothers. Davis says it's not about where his heart is, but what he's done and what he's gonna do. He collapses and starts transforming. He lunges at Clark and Chloe yanks the lever. Davis gets slimed with crypto juice. Clark struggles to stand, so Chloe ushers him away. A red-eyed Davis glares through the droplets and flashes back to a limo that parks in the middle of a dark street, and a Luthor guard pushes Mini Davis out with instructions to drop him off and bounce. Mini Davis rages, transforms, and maims the guard.
Back in the lab, Chloe and Davis press their hands on the glass. He goes limp, and that's why he uses gold chew.
Blue chew gold.
Blue chew gold. She cries. The next day at Chloe's apartment, Clark informs her that Oliver has taken care of the details. Chloe defends the lever pull, saying she won't risk the safety of the world because of Clark's code of ethics. Ouch, bro. Clark notes that the ultimate destroyer didn't put up much of a fight, and burns the Naaman and Sagith picture in the fireplace. Clark admits he had a nightmare, and he crashed and no one found him. He thought saving people was a burden, but it's nothing compared to knowing you're fatally doomed from the get-go. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty interesting because if you see Clark trying to figure out who he is, and you got Davis trying to figure out who he is in two different trajectories, but also trying to get to the same place. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Someone's a symbol of hope and someone
At
is
the
doomed.
barn.
At the barn, Tess treats Clark to a surprise visit. Clark is like, oh my God, you're obsessed with me. And Tess is all, nuh-uh, your greatest challenge is like ahead of you. And Clark's like, you don't know me, bish. And Tess goes, this lioness behavior is what made Lex Delulu. And Clark is all, is that like a threat? And Tess is all, I ain't stupid, my guy. And Clark's like, you can't solve me, dude. And Tess goes, I'll just wait for you to come to me. So bye. That's verbatim as I wrote it.
Back at the manor, Tess hears whispers. She opens up a cabinet, pulls out a silver case, and inside she finds the source, the orb.
The orb!
Why would it be there? Why would Lex leave that in such a... that would be locked up. I mean, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to open this and it's easy and, I got the orb. It was too easy.
But it's on purpose. Lex is doing this on purpose. That's as a
keep
viewer,
it?
That's what I see. He's done this on purpose. He's
Why did
allowed
he
it to
keep
be
it?
there on purpose.
Because the last time we saw it Lex properly, he had it. He was that was his thing.
Yeah, Lex likes to gaslight.
Everybody on the show loves
Chloe
it.
arrives back at the town and hears a crash. He cautiously heads into the storage space and sees Davis alive and well. The meteor rocks made him stronger, but he doesn't know how strong. He says there's something about Chloe that calms the murderer inside him, and he won't kill Clark if she's around. Oh, God, that's kind of weird. He asks her to stay. She walks upstairs, waits, looks at the lock, waits, looks back at Davis, waits, looks at the lock, and locks the door. End of episode. Closing thoughts. It felt like a lot of work to justify, but ultimately it's worth it. We have a clear picture of Davis and Clark's story. I will go with that, but it was definitely fast paced. But maybe it needs to be. You don't want to drag that out.
I think people are of two minds of this. Is it sort of like a I don't know, trying to shoehorn the Davis thing in and shove out Lex?
What else does Tess?
retcon.
What else does Tess get out of the out of this other than a little more power? Maybe in a way she'll find a way to control everything like Lex did.
Yeah.
Do we think Chloe is indulging Davis more because she's heartbroken? Probably, and she's always been sort of attracted to him. It's funny because you say, do you guys remember anything from shooting this episode? Did you get PTSD when they mentioned the caves? I did. I was like, oof. When I think of those
I
caves.
remember Davis being in that cell and that taking a long time, and him being such a professional actor going with everything they were asking for him. I do remember that. I remember standing outside of it being like, I don't
envy that.
I don't think I would put up with what you're putting up with, and I commend you.
Yeah, because it's James Marshall. Sam was probably just being tortured in that thing for he's probably there for hours to get the right shot. And really, it's just one wide shot of him freaking out and then him against the wall. So if you just knew, you just get one master close up on him and then one close up down here. Yeah. But I'm sure they shot the shit out of it.
There were a bunch of angles on it.
Interesting things to know. Little X was originally portrayed by Matthew Munn in the pilot. Connor Stanhope played Little X in the season 7. Fracture, Veritas, and Descent. The scene of Lionel discovering Little Lex in the cornfield was reshot with Connor for this episode. When Little Lex and Minnie Davis leave to go play, we see Little Lex's stupid effing pet bird dead on the desk. In the Death of Superman comic storyline, a bird lands in Doomsday's hand when he first arrives on Earth, which he crushes too. So this could be an allusion to that. Maybe. Nerds, back me up. Anyone?
Possibly.
All right. We have a special guests. It's a long time coming. We waited almost the entire season to get them on the show. Kelly Souders, Brian Peterson, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
Hey guys. What's up, guys?
Yes. What?
You guys look
damn
exactly
treat.
the same.
You do look the same.
You too.
No, I don't. Michael doesn't.
No. I don't look the same. You guys look great.
Oh my God. How are you guys? It's so awesome to see you. It makes my heart kind of warm up. It's very sweet.
I'm so glad you guys came on, and we were talking about this. We were excited. I was like, I just always thought you guys were the coolest and so laid back. And your calmness and confidence kind of made us calm. So it was, I didn't get to experience it like these guys did for the 3 years when you guys were running the whole thing, but just in our conversations in the past and everything. And so I'm glad you guys came, and it's really
an
cool.
honor.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad the facade worked then.
Because if you had any idea what was going on underneath it all,
You did not show it. And in fact, I remember, I think one of the smartest things the show did was bring the writers up to see the show being filmed.
Yeah.
And I have to imagine that informed you when you went back to write further shows. But yeah, you guys always seemed calm and cool. You always had answers right there on, in the minute. I know that Glenn really loved working with you guys.
Oh, we loved Glenn too.
Just because we could turn to you and be like, this is kind of screwed up. What do you think? And you'd be like, well, do this. Okay. And then we were able to do it as opposed to making phone calls and very confident, very confident.
That's so nice to hear, though. I mean, like, I always talk about just like how insane it is to try and like run things and try to keep everybody calm, like, because we are trying to do that, but on the inside you're just like like there's never enough. Like, you wake up, I always feel like Uma Thurman with the needle that went in, and like every morning I'd wake up going, oh my God, I gotta go, and running as fast as we could, and there were two of us, thank God, but I think we loved being like in it, more. Maybe I think maybe because we were up coming to set and getting to hang out with all of you guys and watch you work and like try to watch what was going on behind the camera. And I don't know, I think we'll never have that experience again of feeling like so deeply in it. But I think so much of it stemmed because like you guys all cared so much, like cared so much. I can never explain this. I'm like, no, they would just come sit in meetings and people were always like, wait, like, the actors would sit in there. And I'm like, because they're actors and they're directors and they're really wanting to understand the business in a way that you don't have that kind of involvement. That show was really, really, it's special.
Well, you know what I want to say is the first question I've been dying to ask you is, I mean, you've got a show that's running for 7 years and all of a sudden the original creators, Alan Miles, leave. I'm gone. John Glover's gone. Kristen's gone. Annette's not really around, right? She's gone. So it's like, okay, first of all, were you guys shitting your pants at first when you were like taking the reins and going, how are we going to do this? Were you honestly really confident, or was it a combination of, I think we could do this, but I don't know how we're going to do this, but we'll just take it step by step? And were you freaking out in the beginning?
I think it was a mix of confidence because, Alan Miles we owe everything to them. They trained us so amazingly. But so we were excited for the opportunity, but we were terrified because it wasn't just us. It was us and Todd and Darren, Slabkin Swimmer. So you try to put 4 people in charge of anything. And we made it work. Like, we had a great time doing it. But, they literally like, you're losing your love interest. You're losing your villain. We're not shooting on film anymore. We're cutting our days of shooting. We're not going out on location. And the list just kept because, this show at that point, understandably, was a little aged. And we were like, all right, along with the team up in Vancouver, we're like, how do we make this work? And we all kind of had the idea of like, well, how does a low budget horror do it? They dig into character, they dig into mood, they dig into, so all the things that you're seeing, for better or worse, but I think for the better, like in season 8, like really, we knew we had actors that had the chops. And so we just threw everything at you.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, like one of my favorite performances of yours is in Hex right before this. You and Lois on the rooftop, you just owned it.
Epic.
You just
It was honestly
owned it.
Amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
In fact, all those, like, Michael, when we gave you Lexmas, whenever we switched it up and we just knew we never had a problem just giving you guys the reign to just totally embody a new character, and you do it overnight.
Yeah. I think of, the challenges, and I remember, I was gone, and then I do you remember, Kelly? I called you up, or maybe it was Kelly and Brian, but I called you up and I said, okay, you got me for one day, next Friday, full day, do whatever you want. I'm wearing a ball cap. Let's do this. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. I have to say, like, I remember starting to have heart palpitations. Excited, but also because, like, I mean, you're in this for so long, and it is, as we all know, even though it's fun and it's the most awesome job, but the pressure is really high. The audience has like expectations. All of us are like, there was so much energy and emotion that was starting to build. It was a lot. It was like a lot, but we were very excited about that day.
It's blatantly obvious as you watch season 8 that our full hope and intent was to get you back sooner than that. We kept you alive. We kept you alive in this.
But no one ever called me.
I know, and I can only fathom there are things beyond our control. I am so sorry. But
Peter and I didn't see eye to eye.
all along we were like, and as you see in this episode, we get little Lex back in there, and we're like, we're gonna keep. I don't think a character has been talked about more in a show that he's not in,
Right.
more than this season.
I tell you what that I think is funny is doing this podcast with Michael. He has turned a corner in season 8 where he's really enjoying the show more than he ever did.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm going to be honest with you. I was skeptical, of course, because so many people are gone. How are they going to do this? And I hadn't seen an episode, obviously. Why watch a show that you're not on? It doesn't make, whatever. But
Right.
I'm actually glad I'm not in the show while I'm watching now. And I thought it'd be the other way around. But like the first couple episodes, I was like, yeah, I don't know if this is. And all of a sudden it hit its stride. And it's like 5 good episodes in a row where I was like, I'm enjoying this. I hated to say it. And now I'm like, I want to see where this goes. And I was really proud of you guys and proud of the show of what it is so far. I mean, in season 8, and people are like, oh yeah, season 8, it's a decent season, but wait till 9 and 10 or whatever. And I was like, I don't know, 8's pretty happening. I'm really surprised. So great job.
Thank you. We you will see as we go. The finale launches us into a great season, and I'm very curious about your thoughts because we had so many amazing plans, and we wanted to deliver so badly for the fans because the fans are our family. They had thoughts. And then understandably.
Yeah.
That also brings up a good point. When we started Smallville, the internet and the whole fans being able to speak to anyone on the show was limited. Now we're at a point where you guys have total access to comments.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine how that persuaded or moved you guys around or wanted to, that's a whole different thing. I mean, I made a conscious choice not to look at any of that because it was none of my business, but you guys, I think had to.
We did we would I have to admit, because sometimes you'd read them and it'd just be like, sometimes it's amazing. And honestly, like 98% of it's amazing, but that 2% is what always you remember, right? I think I remember having to ask our assistant to give me a summary because I couldn't quite let the words totally burn themselves into my brain. So I'd get little summaries as to what they were thinking, you know, and you do adjust a little bit, but it's usually months afterward. And then you're always like, oh, just wait. It's going exactly where you're wanting it to go. So,
well, we had the benchmark of season 9, the pilot of season or the premiere of season 9 in our heads as we're getting to this finale. And that was, we just wanted Comic-Con season 9 to be everything for the fans. And unfortunately, we had a tiny bit of a rocky time getting there. But I think I'm still proud of the work everybody did. We just completely wanted to please the fans.
Who's the one, you guys have been together for a long time. And what I want to know is A, what makes your relationship work so well? And B, who takes care of the tough stuff in terms of not writing and all that? I'm talking about handling personalities or getting into it with somebody, or who's the passive role? Who's the sort of fuck you guy?
Yeah, does one of you write the first half of an episode and the other one writes the second half? What?
That's not how it works.
Always the mystery. Everybody wants to know. I want to know how Brian's going to answer this.
Okay.
Well, it's funny because we both kind of got similar skill sets because we had the same training under Alan Miles in the show and everybody there. So when we took over, we just split the episodes. You take this one, I take this one, and we supervise. And so we each kind of did all those roles on, as long as somebody had a point person. As we're growing and learning about each other more and more, even after 20 years, Kelly will probably be more of the handling the personalities. Big. Right.
Well, what if wait. What if I know there's a time when you had to fire someone, I'm sure. We won't get into that. But
God.
Were you the one to do it or was Kelly the one to do it?
We each did, I think.
We have, yeah.
If we had, we tried, we kept everybody. By the end of it, the writing staff, the crew was so big because we just wanted to keep the family together. We didn't do much.
It was a match, and also I think the thing is when when you're doing something like that, there's a lot that's going on behind the scenes of pressure for different reasons of having to let. I mean, what's funny is like we've let people go on Smallville that then we've hired later, which I always feel like is a little bit of a testament overall. Not that you're going to handle every situation perfectly, but I'm like, the fact I could fire people that I actually really liked if there was a reason why it needed to happen, but done in a way that I could then rehire them down the road is like how, if I had to handle that situation, is certainly how I would like to. But it was rough. I mean, there's a lot that would sometimes go on behind scenes, I guess. I'll put it that way, but
I can imagine.
We had it so good. Our crew, our cast, I mean, you all were, it was so, for the most part, so easy.
Well, I mean,
So
circling back a little bit about the confidence in the way you guys ran things, from my perspective, is like, I didn't ever really feel like that stuff ever made it to set. And that's a good thing. I don't think it should.
That's a good job right there.
Yeah.
You know, because that's not why you're on set is, you know, once you get to set, you got to go. So thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks. I mean, honestly, we didn't understand. I mean, we knew we were spoiled, but we didn't understand how spoiled we were until we left. Because like, honestly, you talk about like difficult personalities, and I literally sat here for a minute and I'm like, I can't think of like that. Like all of our actors were so amazing. You always got to like, you didn't have to write to their abilities, which sometimes you are forced to do on a show. And we just could throw, like Brian was saying, we could throw anything at anyone on this cast all those years. And like, we knew that like watching the dailies would be a joy because we'd get something back that we'd never seen before. And, you know, we didn't really push somebody to do something before. And we knew that if we did, that it would always come back with this like energized, unbelievably talented, you know,
I never felt like we had we never had any
fun.
slackers.
No,
There weren't slackers.
No.
There were slackers. There were a couple slackers.
Were
No. I want to ask you this because the episode is Eternal. Did you guys get a chance to watch it?
We did.
I did.
It's really good.
It's fun. I haven't seen any of the shows in so many years. So it was like a blast.
Yes, it's our esoteric faith.
Whose idea was the meteor shower, the meteor kryptonite shower?
You know, I was trying to think that. I know early on in the season we were like, what if Lionel was the one that found Clark? And so that kind of gave birth to the idea of the episode, and then, you know, the ability to reuse footage and the idea to get Martha and Jonathan back in the show, just get their faces there for the nostalgia of the actors. We all
that was cool.
You know, we just wanted to bring all that. So honestly, I can't remember. We had a great writing staff. So
I was going to say, like, the one thing people don't understand is that, or I don't think they understand the extent of it. Like, when you're on staff, like, no episode is that writer's episode. Like, everyone is in there to get, and I think people think, oh, their name's on it, it's their show, you know.
But
they
it's a
thought of it
team
all,
effort.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you break the show, the showrunner breaks the show, and essentially everybody keeps pitching ideas and adding to the story, and everybody's working on it together, and then someone's, you know, they kind of delegated to, all right, you'll write this script.
Right.
You'll write this. And they're the writer on the page, but it's a really collaborative effort. Yeah.
Other than like the pilot, which was amazing from Alan Miles, like pretty much every episode was written by multiple people.
You might get a kick out of that. I had a friend of mine who was on a TV show and he wanted to get into writing. And so part of his contract negotiation was allowing him to go in on his off time and sit in the writer's room. And I said, what did you learn from that? And he goes, I learned that the writers really like the actors. And he said that he never felt that way before. He never saw that. And I was like, that's interesting. I never felt like I wasn't liked by the writers. But it's an empowering thing. Like, the writers want to hear from you. Like, it's okay. It's a good communication.
I'm going to call you guys and talk to you about it because I sold a show and we're hopefully this will all work out. We're dealing with
congratulations
all the stuff, but I'd be in the writer's room and all that. So I want to talk to you guys about it, you know, another time. But what do you remember about Eternal? Because it seemed like it was a pretty tough, like, to recapture those moments from the pilot episode when Martha and Jonathan are walking away with young Clark, and it really seemed seamless. For a second I go, did they just shoot this and not air it?
Yeah, it didn't look like it was reused footage. It looked like you shot it again.
Well, that's a testament to the crew, honestly, and the director. I think they reshot because we had a different Lex. And so I think they reshot the kid that was shivering in the cornfield. They just did an insert of that. And then they just rebuilt everything to make it flow seamlessly. And Cassidy, you know, when Cassidy came onto the show, she just, the second she stepped on the stage, she just owned it, and she really delivers in this episode, I thought.
Do you know that story? Her old agent, Chris Schmidt, called me and said, "Hey, I have my client Cassidy Freeman. She's going to, I guess, fill your shoes, you know, I guess." And she goes, "Would you talk to her? You know, she's a little nervous, and about this. She wants to know." And I talked to her for about 45 minutes, and I just said, "Just have a blast and do your thing. Just do your thing. Trust your gut. These guys are great." And I remember, and then now that I'm watching it, I really could say that I'm not only impressed by her, but again, it seems seamless. It seems like she's part of the show.
Yeah,
she knows the vibe. She has that sort of Lex persona, that feel that there's something else there, ambiguity at times, and so yeah, I thought she was fantastic.
Well, there's no filling your shoes, first of all, but it's very generous of you to have given your time and I think a lot of people wouldn't feel like they needed to do that or want to do that. So thank you for doing that.
Oh,
and she was great. And I think I also think, Tom, the two of you have such great chemistry. And I was like reminded of that rewatching the episode. It's like when the two of you are on it, it's like really feeling like it feels like you guys have, I don't know, it felt very quick, but that you guys really played well off of each other, which is hard to do because like the two of you had unbelievable. I mean, that really was like, we always said that it's about, the two of you and your characters. That is the heart of the show, hands down. It was always about the two, how was every episode putting you guys against each other and how could we evolve it? And I think that was for us, that was the most fun, was building that relationship to be this like ultimate, betrayal of love between these two.
If only Peter Roth felt the same way. I mean, Alan Miles thought it. You guys thought it.
I'll tell you, Cassidy's a friend to this day, and I can tell you that very quickly I realized that she was a much better, smarter actor than I was, and I needed to really pay attention. And I think that's what comes out of those scenes.
I don't think so, but that's.
I think you're a little hard on yourself because I think you did.
That scene on the roof though is hilarious with you and Lois. It was like I was like, you played it perfectly.
Oh,
you
God.
weren't, winking to the audience. You were playing it serious. Like I got to get the hell out of here, and it worked.
Well, can I ask you guys a quick question? Because I know you've gone on to do other things. I think one of the special things, and I didn't know any different, but Smallville did tone meetings that could last
an hour,
4
2 hours.
to 10
Forever.
hours.
Yeah.
And it really got everybody on the same page. Is that something that you find in the other shows you've done? Because to me, in the few projects I've done since, I kind of have those side meetings. If the production's not going to have them, I try to have a tone meeting with the director because I'm like, just so we're already on the same page about what we're trying to do. And when you have a Lois and Clark situation where one character kind of knows something and the other one doesn't, it's the tone that is the most important. Is that something that you see often, or is that kind of special to Smallville?
That's very special.
Yeah. We haven't seen
Very
it.
special. And I think James really was instrumental in that. And I think the reality is and I wanted to say this when you were talking about the seamlessness with the old footage, is just the crew and every person who was involved in that show was so unbelievably passionate and dedicated to it that we've gone on to do a lot of other things and people obviously are amazing and we've had great experiences with a lot of people, but I cannot say that I've ever, I don't know, Brian, if you'd say this, across the board seen a show where people were so invested personally.
Awesome.
There was, yes, it was a job, but it was way more than that.
And to your question, Tom, I think it was the reason, there's sublime to the ridiculous, and I think Smallville was on the ridiculous end of tone meetings. I remember Beeman got on a plane in Vancouver, landed in LA and walked in the writer's room and we were still on the tone meeting.
Yeah.
So, but I think it was because everybody was so excited and had their own thoughts, and we let, Alan Miles and everybody allowed space for that in those meetings and allowed everybody to really work through, okay, when we hit the floor, we're going to have, and I think usually, tell me, you guys know better, but we usually had it figured out when we hit the floor, and there wasn't a lot of confusion about what is this scene about, which hopefully save time on the day too.
Well, that's why some of those meetings went 8, 10 hours.
Forever.
Well, listen, we told you this would be 15 minutes. It's 23 minutes.
Sorry, yeah.
But let me
excited
ask you this.
It's a tone meeting.
What are you guys working on now?
We have multiple things in different stages of development. So hoping to hear about one of them quickly soon. And having fun and kind of honestly getting a little bit back to the roots of this world, because I think we like neither of us ever expected to be in like a comic book world. And so we left like and did dramas and period pieces and horror and like thriller, like all kinds. And then, but we really miss it. It was just like the heart and the emotion, but also the fun, like high, genre stakes. It was a blast.
What horror?
Salem. Yeah, considered horror.
Nice. I got to check it out. I got to check out Salem.
It is fun and twisted.
I'm a
perfect.
I have an affinity for horror movies. I don't know if you can see my podcast room, but it's all horror movies. So, and that's what I write mostly. But this has been an absolute joy.
Likewise.
And of course, I got to, Ryan's here. He's our sidekick.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for getting this all arranged.
Yeah, Ryan's amazing, and he never had seen the show before this, so he started from scratch, and the ups and downs and all arounds, and we definitely have more of an appreciation for the show, and definitely have an appreciation for you guys, and thank you for being here, and will you come back?
It's really great to see you guys.
Yeah, we were. I would just text or call Al, and if he answered, I go, "What the hell's with this episode? What's happening?" And then he would, So if you guys want, we have 2 seasons left after this. I'd love to be able to have you on or a quick call or something like that.
Very happy to jump back on.
Always.
Yeah, it would be awesome. It's funny too, because I'm like, you're like, "Hey, Michael," and I'm like, "Hey, Brian, Kelly, what's up? Listen, we're watching this episode, and what and you go, I don't really remember, but you might not remember, but it's just funny and kind of became a part of this podcast. So
absolutely,
sure. Happy to.
It is so great to see you guys. It's really, really nice, warm, and cozy. We love you. It was such a blast.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And you'll be hearing from us more. So keep kicking ass. I hope your projects come to fruition. And I'll be calling you about this other thing too.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
All right, guys. Mwah.
What a
Love
pleasure.
ya.
Thank you.
Bye. They're awesome. I always remember how great they were just to be around. They were all cool. They were very calm. I think to be a showrunner, to do that sort of thing, there has to be a calmness. Like, you've got this. Like, yeah.
There was also this thing that they both had come up to set and been there while we were shooting. So even when they went back to LA to write, they had an understanding of what we were filming.
Yeah.
And I think that's important.
Hotline, patron privilege. This is Michael P. Haven't heard from Michael P in a minute.
Hey everyone, it's Michael P from Texas. If you were Chloe in the episode Eternal, would you have pulled that handle while Davis was still in that cage? Thanks.
Yes. God. Hell yeah. I would have done so many things differently. But yeah.
If I was Chloe, I would have said, "Hey, Clark, let's do this together."
Well, what you're saying, what you're inevitably, or I think what they're trying to do is like, sort of like, it's symbolic to the electric chair. Like, would you kill somebody because they did all these things, or would you just let them rot in jail? And Tom Clark's character was like, "No, you can't do that. That's not right." And she's like, "No, he killed people. He's dangerous. He was going to hurt you. I had to do it." So it was kind of ambiguously slid in there.
Also, and the person in the chair is asking you to do it.
Yeah, I'm sort of the person though. It's like, if someone kills somebody, don't get me started on that.
We don't have to get into it.
But we don't have to get into it. Fatima, here we go.
Hi, this is Fatma calling from Pakistan. In Eternal, Tess refers to Clark as the new contemplative Clark Kent. Tom, what are you actually thinking about when you have to film these thoughtful moments? Thanks.
Not much. To be honest. Sorry. Good question, but I'm just trying to listen and respond to like what's in my heart. But like,
gotcha.
I'm just trying to be receptive.
All right. This is Leanne P. Back-to-back weeks with Leanne P.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got for us, Leanne?
Hey, y'all. It's Leanne P. from Santa Barbara. Had a question about the episode Eternal. Okay. Well, one main question. Now, Smallville. How many times can you rehash the story of Namana Sagith? Just saying. Thanks, y'all.
It's been a long time.
I know, but it keeps coming up like when it's convenient.
But what I liked about this, I said this a little bit earlier, is we all thought it was Lex and Clark. And what we realize now, it's not. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I get you. I hear you. You're right. Heather. Hi, Heather. Heather.
Hi, guys. It's Heather H. In Eternal, Clark says he and Davis should have been brothers. Tom, did you see that as Clark's compassion, survivor's guilt, or fear that he could have become something much darker without the Kents? Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Heather.
Probably the third. You know, I think Clark has lived a little bit of life to realize that, like, he has his own opinion about it, as opposed to just, like, what has been thrust upon him and his, you know, who he's supposed to be.
I think, though, here's the thing. Davis, Doomsday, it's not like Clark who can control his powers and know how to use his powers. This is something innately inside of him that he was put on Earth to kill Clark. So as much as he wants to say, I can control it, I want to be good, he can't be. I don't think
he's programmed.
He's programmed. I think that's the difference. I just don't think it's possible that he could ever not kill Clark. I think, like, I don't. Amy from West Virginia, take me home, country roads, to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama.
Hey, this is Amy from West Virginia, and this is about episode 18 of season 8. I just wanted to say that I love Tessa's facial expressions throughout this season. It's just great, and her lines are even better. I don't really have a question, just want to say that I really enjoyed this episode.
Thanks, Amy. I actually like that you don't have a question. No, I don't. I love questions. Thanks, Amy. Yeah, I think she's great. SV.
Hi, this is patron SV, S as in small, V as in Ville. I'm calling in about the question Eternal. Do you think that Dr. Grohl, the doctor working on the project Prometheus, just liked a good kryptonite liquid shower every now and then? What was that machine for? I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts.
Yeah, like, why was that built? Why was there...
Well, before it was just... It was the lights. It was like the kryptonite light cage from last season that Clark got stuck in.
Yeah, so maybe he just has this.
So he probably looked at it and was like, no, I have a different vision for this. I want it to be drippy.
How about a kryptonite shower? It's like a steam room for people who we want to destroy, where kryptonite is their weakness.
I want them to be wet.
I
want them to be sopping wet.
Seldom have we had wet kryptonite.
Can we liquefy it?
Liquefy this
Liquefy
kryptonite.
the kryptonite. I don't care for the lights. Give me the liquid.
Yes. Rosenbaum rating system.
Rosenbaum rating.
We're going to go with Ryan.
1.5.
Tom.
1.
I'll give it 1.
All right. Cool.
Death and save count. 12 dead.
Death
Davis
and
killed
save
at least
count.
12 people in his rampages. 0 saved. Through 18 episodes, 55 dead, 68 saved. Series 302 dead, 346 saved. Wow. And now it's time for Ryan's favorite scene.
All right.
Okay,
I think I got
lock
mine.
in.
I'm locking in. Here we go.
All right. Scene 1. Tess blows up the Jeep in the field. Scene 2. Kryptonite shower. Scene 3. Tess and Clark's final confrontation in the barn.
I'm gonna say when he was blown up in the truck was, well, hang on a second. Kryptonite shower. I mean, yeah, it's got to be that kryptonite shower.
I'm gonna go 1.
Wait. Wait, what was the third one?
Well, the third one was when Tess and Clark have like a conversation. About
My
all of
gut,
them.
though, was the explosion. I thought that was the coolest.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3.
I'm going to go the explosion.
2.
It's 2. We both missed it. Damn it.
It was good. I don't know. It was the thing. It was the episode to me.
You know, Ryan, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you like season 8? better than the show was before? Do you like the show now more than when you like the show? Be honest.
Here's the thing. The difference is I am more in tune with what's happening these last 2 seasons.
Because it's all came to this.
It all came to this. I'm also I'm much more deeply ingrained in it now that I am, having to put these all together.
Yeah, but you were doing that in season 7.
In season 7 too. Yeah. I think.
Do you miss the other characters at all? Lionel and me and.
Yeah, I think so. I also like where it's going. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I do too.
I think it's good.
I do too.
I was worried it was going to it's not like a steep drop off.
No.
I think it's just different.
I'm surprised
you're as invested as you are, both of you.
I'm invested,
Because the story is more intriguing now. It's not so just go get that guy who did that thing in the first coda.
Yeah. But that's definitely what hooked everyone. The high school and nature of it and just the freak of the week stuff. That's definitely a very hooky way to get everybody in. And now we're all sort of deeply invested in who these people are and what's, the bigger story that is afoot.
Yeah. That is it for the episode. Stick around next week as we slay Queens and talk about episode 19, Stiletto. Let's take the discussion online. Let us know your thoughts on the episode over on our socials at Talkville Podcast or Talkville Pod. Show the support for the podcast by joining patreon.com/Talkville. If you want more information like merch from the show or our hotline number, you can find all that in the description. We love doing this with you. And remember, folks, always hold on to Smallville. We'll see you next week. Hello, patrons. Hello, beautiful, beautiful patrons. It's Michael Rosenbaum. This is the first time I'm recording anything for Talkville or inside of you for 2 weeks since my PIC line and my infection and all that emergency surgery. And I love you guys dearly. Thank you for supporting me and being there for me. And Ryan, thank you for being so helpful. And hey, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, things kept happening even though you weren't here, but nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
But now they know.
Now you know.
Now you know.
All right, here are the top tiers. We love you. The Ms. Leanne, Raj C, Santiago M, Thomas, Tom Turner, Little Lisa, Shane W, Betsy D, Avi P, Karen Apple M, 99 More, Leilani and Brett G. Always hold on to Smallville, Bob K, Tom N, Jason W, Atlanta Rhymes with Banana, Nancy D, Brian G, Teddy 127, Michael P, Randy B, Craig G, LC, Elise
K.
Elise K, Heather and Greg,
Grether,
Clark's mom, Kristen B, Kevin E, Finky, damn, who's that? Jeanette E, Doug R, Shanna L, Shanna I, love you. Ken the Limerick Guy, Corey L, Mr. Home Arcade, Claire M, D Brown, Jules M, L Dan, Sopremo.
And we got Brian P, Ginger Moose, Christoph S, Leah Lane, Katie C, Michael Kine doesn't blank. Wolfie and Little Wolfie, Matthew Beth and Lincoln B, Mary Lou L, Matt Maverick, Randy and Teresa, Cassie B, Danny Mo Mirabel L, Mary K, Sophie L, Jeff H. When you're rich, you're not crazy, you're eccentric.
You're eccentric.
The House of L, the Alexander Castle, Daryl E, Jenny B76, Monica T.
Ms. M, Emily who locked Jeffrey K previously on Smallville. Keith B, Smitten with Lois, Cookie K, Danny Z from Cleveland, Biagio C, David L, as told by Helen, Dr. J, Kurt F, Clovis 28, Dr. G and Dr. T, Eduardo and Nancy per 6, Naman L, Smallville for Life, Bobby B, Kendrick F, Stacy Beth L, Other Brother Daryl, Melanie P, Charlie M, Cheyenne F, AJ S, Heather H, Tom and Michael's friend Mickey,
Kieran H, Hubs, Jackie Justice, Bradley H, Abby and Mr. Heights, Dan L, Clovis B Rule, David A, Steph Meister, Romina N, Cocoa Beach Kidneys, Anna HM, The Blue Kiwi, Marky Keds, The Broken Hero, J, Brooklyn,
Dr. Annette DC, Kaylee B, of course, Kaylee B, Dax Moonshadow, Samore L, Gary F, Dahlia M, Dahlia H, RP, Smallville for Life, Bailey A, Crisp P Bacon, Mercy the French Queen of Smallville, Zachary S, Last Maple Donut. Ooh, I have a donut in there. You want a donut? I just got donuts this morning.
Yeah, I'll take a donut.
Sweet. Saba Bean, Thomas C, Kevin from Vero Beach, late to the party, but I brought wine. And Dan S. Thank you for everything, guys. We love you.
Tom would be here, but he can't read a fucking calendar.
Yeah.
Sorry, I swore.
Tom, where are you? But we're here, and that's all that matters. Every once in a while, you got to cover for your friends. So hopefully you're not mad that I'm leaving this patron because Tom didn't read my name.
He's traveling. It's
bastards.
It's complicated.
It's Tom's.
It's not that complicated.
No,
He's just traveling.
Yeah. Anyway, we love you. See ya.